Should I call you Rebecca, Becky G, or Big Daddy B?
These days I've been really liking Big Daddy B. There's a nice, I don't know, I just think it's the bag that I've been in lately. It's a joke that started many years ago with one of my cousins. And she randomly decided to put my contact name under Big Daddy B. And I was like, is that the energy that I give off?
Yes.
And I guess so. So that's been something I've been embracing lately in this season of life.
So for anybody that may be confused about Big Daddy resume, I just want to bring up a few things about you. Okay, new music, going on tour. Oscar nominee for Best Original Song, thank you very much. Made the Time 100 list for World's Most Influential Rising Stars, yes you are. Every big designer wants you sitting in the front row because you are a fashionista. You've got 31 million monthly listeners on Spotify, even more than that on Instagram. What does it feel like, Becky, in this moment to be you right now? When you look back over your life.
I think I feel really blessed and I feel really grateful. And I feel really inspired because although all those amazing things that you mentioned are so incredible to have achieved, I feel like I'm just getting started. And it almost sounds a little bit out of body because you're like, oh yeah, I did that. Because I'm so focused on today and I wake up every day like I haven't done anything the day before. Yeah. And so there's definitely like a new appetite and a hunger that I have. And in Spanish we say like, tengo ganas de comerme el mundo entero. Like I have.
Which means what?
I have the desire to eat the world, like literally, like the entire world. I just want to like devour it and just take over, you know. Yeah. So it's interesting because it's two sides. It's like, wow, I feel really proud, and I feel really grateful, and then I also feel like, all right, I'm ready to roll my sleeves up and.
But you also feel, okay, let's go. I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
Many people first met you back when you were a teenager with the shower song. Mm-hmm. Do you think you were prepared for that moment? Because it took off like a rocket ship.
I think Little B definitely thought that she was prepared. She was working towards something like that to happen. It's interesting looking back at it now as an adult and realizing I was so young and the song had, I would say, a bigger identity than I did as the artist who sang it. Mm-hmm. So I was the singing in the shower girl. Yeah. And it clicked a few years later once the hype of that song started to kind of trickle off and you're in a coffee shop in a random, city and people are singing your song, but they're not connecting that that's you that's singing it, you know? Yes. And it's also like you were a child and now you're a young adult and you have to like kind of make more room for rediscovery. And so, yeah, Little B definitely, she was ready. She was good to go. I'm thankful for it. It took me to so many different places in the world.
She seemed so confident too, though, back then. Was she? She seems so, yes.
I carry her everywhere with me, for sure. She is a source for me. I feel really strongly that Becky G came to be to save Rebecca. And it's this season of my career now that Rebecca gets to kind of pay it back to Becky G. It's like, I got it from here, girl. We could do this together. Yes. It's like my greatest collaboration yet.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's so beautifully said. I'm curious about where it sits with you now. Mm-hmm. Do you still like it, or do you cringe when people sing it, or do you think,
I love it.
You do?
Oh, I love it.
I'm so glad to hear that, because so many people think, oh, God, please don't bring that up. That's not how you feel.
No. I have so much gratitude for that song. I think it was such a blessing for me to kind of get a crash course experience in what it is to have a song that almost goes number one, I was always that like little engine that could, and I was trying to keep up. The industry was, going through so many different changes at that time. When I signed my record deal, like digital streaming platforms didn't exist, like Apple Music and Spotify and Pandora and all these other, so it's like the world around me was changing so much and radio was like, championing the song. And so I got to go from city to city to city. Yeah. And although those mornings were early, I loved it.
You talk very candidly in the doc that you had a midlife crisis at 9. Mm-hmm. What do you mean by that, a midlife? Because
it's exactly what it sounds like.
You seem to have a lot of responsibility. Yeah. Well, that scares me, Becky.
Yeah, I know it is. It actually is scary. I think, I look at any 9-year-old today, and I'm just like, oh, there's the big sister in me naturally feels protective, And I realized that I I am allowed to feel that way for myself. And there's something really beautiful in being able to kind of reparent that 9-year-old me and knowing that, like, it's okay to not have it all figured out, and it's okay to not have all the answers. But, you know, if I go back to that time, I absolutely had to know all the answers.
Yes.
And I absolutely had to have it. There was no other option. A big reason why I'm here today is because of the internet. I got discovered doing covers on YouTube.
Yes.
You know, so I'm thankful for it, but I think too for a young mind with, you know, a society that has no problem telling young women how they should be, what they should do, how they should dress, how they should speak. It is tough to navigate. And I think it's actually something I'm really passionate about when it comes to our youth, and just making sure that we're setting them up for success in life. And success isn't necessarily, you know, the amount of streams or viewership or amount of followers, but I mean like waking up in the morning and feeling good about themselves, you know, accepting themselves and loving on themselves. Yeah. I mean, I've definitely had my fair share of panic attacks and, you know, struggles with anxiety and the pressures that came with working in this industry at such a young age. And then even if I wasn't in this industry, you know, growing up within the four walls and the family system that I grew up in, you know.
Do you know what causes your panic attacks? I love that you talk about it so openly.
Well, I'll tell you, pop star schedule doesn't help. You know, it's not I wouldn't say it's the sole reason why, but, you know, sleep and rest and recovery is so essential to being a functioning human on a day-to-day. And when you spend more time in airplanes and airports and hotel rooms, and your human interaction is usually like, hey, how you doing? You know,
So
it's
good
like
to see you.
That's a lot.
Quincy
already.
Jones used to call it grinning and gripping.
Grinning and
Hello,
gripping.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
Hello, yes.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, little do people know, 2 seconds ago you were in the car like,
Yes.
you know, and that's part of it. So I'd say that's definitely something that I think is maybe fuel in a fire that already existed for me.
But now you seem to have the tools to handle, or do you have the tools?
Yeah.
You seem
Oh, yeah.
so. You seem so.
There's a all systems go little, you know, emergency button. My therapist knows when I send a text message, where there's smoke, there's fire. You gotta check in. But I think it's about supporting yourself in that way, and it's less about the quantity of connections that I have in my life now and more about the quality of them.
The name of the album is?
Baraja Bendita.
Which loosely translated means a blessed deck of cards. I like that.
Yeah.
Play the cards. What does that mean to you, a blessed deck of cards?
You know, for me, we all know that quote of, we can't necessarily control the cards that we were dealt, but what we can control is how we play them. And I feel like throughout my years of doing what I do, personally and professionally, I've gotten really good at playing the game. And I think that that's something that, especially as women, as we've become more empowered, we're almost taught to feel more shameful about that. And I think I'm just owning it. This is, it's an invitation to come play my game. For my fans, for the industry, for anybody who's ever tried me, please come. I want to play. Let's play.
Let's play.
You know, and I think that the idea that, you know, we can still, we sometimes in our minds, we're like, oh, we rob ourselves of free will and of agency over our life, you know? And so this was me kind of owning, yeah, I may not have been able to control the cards that I was dealt, but I think I played the hell out of those cards.
But I
And
played
I
them.
continue to do so.
But I played them very well. Drop the
Yes.
microphone, Ms. Gomez. What I've heard about this one, it's a mix between a boss and a baddie with some sazon, also known as seasoning,
Yes.
for those who don't know.
You said it very nice too.
Sazon, I just like saying the
Sazon.
word sazon. Is that a good way to describe it for you?
I would absolutely, I'll own
'Cause-
that.
yeah.
I'll take that.
Because you really do seem to be owning, yeah, I am comfortable in my own skin, and I do whatever I beeping want.
Yeah.
Is that what you want people to know about you? But there's
Yeah.
also vulnerability
There's
there,
vulnerability
too.
in
Yes.
there too. So that's why I feel like this album really marries the Rebecca side of me and the Becky G side of me. You know, I think it really embraces all sides. The sensual, more vulnerable side of me, the intimate side of me, and then also, you know, who I am, the boss in the boardroom and the boss on the stage, you know. I want to be Big Daddy on stage, but I would like to be able to take Big Daddy's cape off at the end of a work day and be cuddled and, you know, mom cook me some home cooked food and take
Yes.
naps and just chill, you know.
Yes.
So I would say it's definitely all sides.
Can I just say I tried to do the side plank that you do in the video. Big mistake.
And
Because
EPA,
for me, yes.
it's
big
hard.
Mistake.
It's not easy.
It's very hard.
It's very hard, and we had to do a lot of takes of it, and I
Yeah.
had to do it in heels.
Yes. I
And
was
shout
doing it
out
in
to my
bare clothes.
choreography team. They were amazing.
They killed for
But they
you.
pushed me. They pushed me. They had me upside down at one point. I was like, oh my God, what are we doing? The hardest part, which I'm most proud
What's the
of,
side plank?
No.
What?
laying on ice
Oh, because it was cold?
and making it look easy.
But did you see the outfit you had laying on the ice?
Well,
you looked at it good. that
Thank
was
you.
yeah. That was hard.
It was tough. But the vision was so clear in my mind.
Isn't that funny? I would have never thought that was hard. What was your vision with the ice?
For me, the whole music video is a celebration of community. And it takes place here in LA, which I obviously am a proud LA girl. And El Mercadito is a very sacred place for us in this community. And shooting something there just felt like the coolest thing on my resume so far. And my whole family came through, and it was so awesome. But yeah, I would say that it was a celebration. And I thought that we really need that right now, especially for us within the Latino community. We need to see our joy. Our joy is so important. And I think that there's moments where the ice breaks and
Well, she's a taxi ice too.
Yeah. So once the ice breaks, there's this like explosion of dance that happens, and the dancers and all of our extras who are our superstars of the night, they did so many cool little freestyle moments, and there was something so urgent about the song when we wrote it that in order to actually feel it, I wanted a visual that represented what I saw and felt in my heart and in my mind, you know?
Was that an analogy or metaphor for the ICE agents that we're seeing now? Did it have anything to do with that or no? Am I reading too much into it?
No, not at all. I think it's really fair to say that this is a music video where my advocacy and my art really came together. And it is a visual representation of all sides of what we're experiencing. So I feel like you really do see it and feel it throughout the entire music video, and exactly that moment, as I say, when the ice breaks. It was emotional for me.
It was,
yeah,
and then it explodes in joy.
Yeah.
Because it shows you can't.
We're not scared.
We can break you, you cannot break us.
Exactly.
We still find joy in the darkest of places.
Exactly, and that's one of the lyrics in EPA.
Yes.
We're gonna dance in the rain, and I feel like for a lot of us in our communities, you know, with the discrimination and the oppression that we have felt for decades, you know, it's one of those things where you can't rain on our parade. We are the people who dance in the rain.
So what boundaries do you have now that younger Becky didn't have for herself?
Oh, I think me comes before anything else. Yeah,
Good
me comes
girl.
before anything else. And I think it's because I do believe part of our purpose on this earth is to be of service to others. But especially growing up in cultures in a community like the one that I grew up in, I think a lot of times our women are taught to be self-sacrificing and taught to think about everyone else first before we think about ourselves. But take away, you know, the societal pressures that, you know, women have to deal with and the gender roles of all that, and just strip it down to our humanity. No person can pour from an empty cup. No person. You know, it's not sustainable. And maybe we can for just a little bit. But to expect that we're supposed to live a fulfilling life by constantly just giving parts of ourselves that we can't necessarily afford to give. It's, I think that's been the biggest shift for me. And it's been so beautiful.
But you know what you have that so many people, or some people don't, is you have a very strong core family.
Yes.
You know that you are deeply loved, and you know that your family is always there and pulling for you. And talk about the difference that has made for you to your success and made you, or contributed to who you are today, despite all the bumps and the bruises that you've been through.
Yeah,
with
I mean,
family.
we definitely.
Your mom in particular. I fell in love with your mother.
Shout out to Alejandra,
Yes.
my girl. No, my mom is my best friend for sure. I think that growing up in my family, including all, you know, I'm one of 19 grandchildren on my mom's side and one of 15 on my dad's. Now there's great grandbabies. You know, my sister just had a baby, so I'm a Nina now, and we're a big family. But there was something, I think, that at my core, growing up and navigating the world, I just always knew that everything else was a bonus. This was my village, this is my tribe. Everything else is a bonus, you know? And I think that there's something really beautiful in that, to know that, and I feel so blessed, because I know some people don't necessarily have that type of support system. And my parents were young, you know, when they got married and decided to have a family, and they were babies themselves trying to figure it out, you know? So I think the way I look at it now is like, everything was designed by God to be what it needed to be in order for me to become who I am today.
You know, I don't see too many people in music go between English and Spanish so effortlessly and flawlessly.
Thank you.
And so I know you've done all English, I know you've done all Spanish. Were you ever told in your career you need to pick one, do one?
Oh yeah.
You were told?
Absolutely.
What were you told?
Okay, this is actually, you might laugh at this. This one made me giggle. I won't say names, but someone asked, so who's gonna be the Spanish feature on the song?
Wow.
Because I was singing in English, and I was like, hello, sí, soy yo. Mi nombre es Rebecca. Nice to meet you.
They were saying that to you.
Yeah.
Becky Gomez, who's going to be the
Yeah, and in my head, I'm
Wow.
just like, wow, we're still sometimes in that space where we have to explain things, which is totally fine. I'll sit here all day and talk about how
Well,
Spanglish
that kind of-
is a language.
Spanglish is a language.
Is a language, absolutely.
So you were told you have to pick a lane.
Yeah, definitely.
And you said to that, I don't need to pick a lane.
No. Yeah, I love jumping from like box to box and, you know, saying, you can't catch me, ha, ha, ha. I've always, I think since I was young, I got signed as a rapper.
Yes, I know.
So like,
I know.
you know, and then fast forward, my first success is a pop song like Shower.
Yes.
And then fast forward, my greatest success came from singing in Spanish. And then fast forward, I'm like, I've always been me. You guys are just now finding out? Wow.
Guess what? She can do all things. But you say about this music, it's sort of unapologetically living in the in-between. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so it's a continuation of this, you know, journey of self-evolution and self-discovery. I started that journey with my Música Mexicana album, Esquinas. And Esquinas is about the corners and where we meet. I represent two flags. I speak two languages. You know, there's two cultures that I proudly practice and celebrate. And so Esquinas was the beginning of that journey, and it's become this like really beautiful evolution of my healing journey, because I almost had to go back to these places of my childhood and these places of pain to kind of embrace them and acknowledge them and share them vulnerably with my fans. And it was almost like I had cut a vein. Like it was just, it oozed rawness and realness. And it's like, once I experienced that as an artist with Esquinas, and then the album that followed called Encuentros, which was about what I found in that journey, I was like, I can never go back. I want to sing from this place all the time. And so the results of that is Baraja Bendita. And the sonics of it are so fun.
Yeah.
And she's, yeah, I would say she's here to have a good time now. I was, you know, 14, 15 years old when I got signed, and the world meets me as this young teenager. And then you have a song like Mayores go, you know, global, massive, alongside an amazing artist like Bad Bunny. And it does all these great things, and it's like, oh, Becky's all grown up now, you know? But I was also like 21. You know, like I was so little. I look back at that and I'm like, wow, she was so young.
But you were also lifting others up too with you at the time.
Yes.
You were also lifting
Yeah,
others
yeah.
up. That seems very important to you.
It is.
Lifting
It
other
is.
artists.
Other artists, I mean, my community in general, and the world, if possible, you know, and all by just doing me.
Let's go back to you and Bad Bunny together. What was that collaboration like for you?
Oh,
Because
I
he was
mean-
not as well known at that particular
Yeah,
time.
at that time, Benito was like a
Benito.
very underground, like trap artist that I ask anybody, it was undeniable that he was gonna be a massive, he's a rock star, you know? But I think what Mayores was for both of us was this beautiful exchange. It was a returning to my more urban roots as an artist, and for him, a more pop approach in music that he had yet to actually explore. And it just exploded.
Exploded.
It exploded. So now audio is we're going to listen to the tracks. We're going to see where the V vocals land in the mixes
What's
and stuff.
BG? What is that?
The background vocals.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, the BGVs.
Of course I knew that. Okay,
Yeah.
BGBs, okay.
So we'll check where those are. And then the structures of the song, make sure that we're within the time that's
Okay.
allotted.
Okay.
All that fun stuff. I have a
Don't be
special
nervous.
request.
What?
Carlos, can you play Gayle's song?
Yes, Gayle's song. Chula, here it is. Yes. Thank you, Carlos.
Linda, preciosa, bella, hermosa, mi bonita, mamazota. Otro nivel, una diosa. Me han dicho todos los piropos, las mentiras, miles de rosas. Y a quien me gustan esas cosas, nada se compara como cuando tú me dices chula. I love you, you, mi chula. I need you now, my chula. Chula.
I love this part right here.
Pero contigo todo fue un sobre, que tú no cabes ni cantas, nada se compara como cuando tú me dices chula. I love you, you, mi chula. I need you now, my chula, chula. Nada se compara como cuando tú me dices chula. 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 Nada se compara como cuando tú me dices.
Are you going to be doing that on
Yeah,
stage?
so this
I
one's
like
really
that.
cute. I
Yeah.
don't have a mic stand actually for this one,
Uh-huh.
but because we had to get really creative, we have these like really cool crates that we're using to build different shapes on the stage.
Uh-huh.
And so this one turns into kind of like a slumber party vibe with the girls. And we're all seated and they're all kind of like touching up their glam. They're reading their Chula
I could
magazine.
do that part, yes.
I mean, we would be glad to have you. They're reading their Chula magazine, and then we join in unison on the second chorus.
Okay.
And we do a little dance, and it's this thing. But I am thinking we might need to shorten it a little bit, just FYI.